All right, let me pull this here.
So you want me to start it off as usual?
As usual.
Okay. So, all right, we're about to get ready to record. You ready, bro?
Hold on, I'm hitting the boomerang on him.
He said a boomerang.
Nick said.
No.
He moved his
Come
head.
on, bro. We can do this afterwards.
Damn, bro, why you
Cause time is money, nigga.
Time is.
All right. You ready? Put your phones on silent.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yo. It's your boy Nicky Duce, aka Mr. Get Right, Get Rick, aka It's your boy. And this is no disrespect. How y'all doing, man?
Hello, everybody.
Shut up.
Welcome back.
Shut up.
This is Imani speaking. How's everybody else doing?
I'm
Doing pretty good. Pretty good.
You already know who it is. It's your boy Swap. Tell my baby I'm back in town.
With his 40 as usual.
Well, with the 40. I miss y'all, man. I miss y'all. This is nostalgic.
And we're having a very nostalgic moment today.
Yeah, special guest. Well,
Lord.
he ain't even a guest. He more like family. Yeah.
He more like
Right.
nigga showed up today.
Forget y'all. It's your boy Chill. You already know Chill Will, aka is getting chilly.
Since when was
Oh shit, no soup.
Back when we used to do Bearcast radio at UC.
Oh boy.
This is the original crew, and we haven't had this in a while.
Well, it ain't all
Well, we
original.
missing Mel.
Oh.
Yeah. Shout out to Mel. She's expecting soon. So.
Yeah.
Pregnant as hell.
Woo.
Baby dropping in 2019. I'm so excited.
She spoke that
My
baby into existence, boy.
She
Sure
did. she did.
Shout out Carla too. That's gonna be a hairy baby regardless, boy or girl.
More hair on his chin than his cat. But also no, this is also big for us. For two reasons. We also in the new studio, Dead End Studio. Shout out to the Dead End Hip Hop crew and everybody associated with them for letting us record here.
Them
Big
fellas
look,
cool,
big
man.
look. You know,
Oh,
for
yeah.
helping out. But yeah, speaking of other people helping out other people, Imani, what's up?
What's up?
Oh, I thought you had. This is a horrible transition.
Yeah, I was like, that has nothing to do with what we're going to talk about. But it's okay. We'll hop into
I
the
thought
first
it
topic.
People helping other people.
I forgot what it was.
Sorry about that.
It was
What's up?
the midterm elections that are coming up. That's our
Oh,
first
yeah,
topic
that's
for
what I'm
today.
saying.
That's why I was
Yeah.
confused. But okay, no problem.
Okay, so black people gathering together for a common goal. What's up?
All right. So, general question: how does everybody feel about the midterm elections that are coming up in Georgia and in Ohio? We're originally from Ohio.
Yeah, we shout out to Ohio and everything going on there.
So we
Cincinnati
keep
specifically.
Come on.
we keep in log of what's going on over there as
Do
well.
y'all care about what's
I was
going
about to
on?
say, fair question, deeper question. Who cares yet about the midterms? Because at this point, we ain't care until Trump got elected. We start saying like, well, how did this happen? And then people start being like, y'all don't even care about half the process of the elections.
Does anybody know the ins and outs of the midterm election at all? Because I
Yeah,
don't.
well, basically, it's the halfway point between the presidential elections. So kind of like the Winter Olympics from the Summer Olympics. It's
Okay.
like it's every 2 years instead of 4. So, and the last two years ago, that's when the Republicans took over, like literally the House and the Senate.
Was
and
full
that's
of
when
Republicans,
and now
yeah.
the president's Republican or claimed to be Republican. So it's like they own everything right now. They got full goal of everything as far as majority. And now this midterm is big and key because, like Swaff was saying, if you don't like how things have been going, this is your chance to change it up. Because actually, in my opinion, the midterm election is way more important than presidential.
One could agree.
Because 2 out of 3, just based off of numbers, the president is only in the executive branch, and then
Mhm. You
the
get House
midterm
and
the
Senate
midterm is
involved.
so
the
you're
House-
voting
is-
for everybody else in the other branches of the
government.
Okay.
Yeah, as far as like who represents each state,
Mhm.
whether it's a governor or a senator, that type of ordeal. So like this could be a monumental swing as far as like letting Democrats get back they seats that they lost.
Yeah.
I think
So
you'd be
it's
happy
full of
because you're a
Republicans.
black Republican, right?
I'm not a black Republican. Why would you?
Oh shit, I thought
Nah,
it was.
You almost be a black Republican and then you claim pro-black. I don't get it.
Can you be Republican and pro-black?
No. No.
You can't be Republican.
You
bro.
can't.
I'm
You
only.
can't.
I would say that I would. Growing up, I was a Democrat, but then I got older and I realized that Democrats ain't done enough for black people since the civil rights era. So I'm just independent. Whoever aligns with my goals is who I go with.
So then, do you
Nothing?
care about midterms then?
I definitely care.
Because it
I
doesn't matter
definitely-
to you who
No,
gets.
I definitely care. I'm just saying as far as attaching myself to one political party, like if it's a Democrat and a Republican, but the Republican that is whatever position they're going for, if their stuff aligns with what I like, then yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
The better candidate.
Yeah, I'm going for the better candidate. I'm not just picking just cause whoever's on my
That's
side.
fair.
I don't treat it like
sway
sports.
back and
Like I
forth.
just I like whoever's on.
Pick a team and stick to it. And
like
yeah,
I don't care who's
understand.
just in the uniform. Like I actually care about what they think, what's their policies, what their platform.
Well, what about Georgia though in particular? I mean, I thought ever since Keisha Lance Bottoms got in office, Atlanta was saved. That's where everybody was backing her up.
It's important because
You know what I
this there's this black woman running for governor. Is it Stacey Abrams or Stacey Adams? I think I forgot. I got.
He said Stacey Adams.
He
Snakeskin
said
dress
What is
shoes.
she running for?
She could possibly be the first black female governor ever. So like
Governor.
yeah. So that's what she's running for, and I'm supporting all that.
What's her name again?
Really trying to
Hold on,
look her up.
we get the Googles.
I
up.
typed in Stacy and Stacy Dash came up.
Come on.
There we
She's
go.
canceled.
I don't.
the wrong
I mean,
Stacey.
we're talking about politics here. She's not the most famous Stacey, but she might be the most important as far as
Stacey
like,
Dash ain't been shit since the It All Falls Down video with Kanye.
I was gonna say she ain't been shit since Clueless, to be honest. If he were to keep it a buck, but nah. But nonetheless,
Stacey Abrams.
Stacey Abrams. Okay. Nonetheless, I like what I've read up a little bit on her, and I like what she's got going as far, especially
Check her out.
when it comes to like forms and policies that deal with black people specifically, and how it deals with the judicial system. So I read up on some things about that, and I like her platform, and she's a black woman, you know, trying to help out. So
So we're
why
saying
not
all that to
support?
say, millennials, go out there and vote. Do justice for your community.
Do millennials care? We're millennials, ain't we?
Yeah,
So,
I don't know
but
why we
I
talking
feel like
in
we
third
don't.
person.
I feel like just like we're in this room, there's only
We're-
about 4 of us that actually care about like what's going on.
He said I mean, we're the early in the millennials, so we got a little bit of, old school before us in us, but
Not me.
right,
yeah.
not you.
At all.
At least you do care though.
I do care.
It's take one life at a time. One night at a time.
But since we're talking about millennials, what issues do we feel like, as black young millennials, are there any specific issues that you guys care about?
I know me in particular, I'm about to be 26, and so I'm no longer about to be able to be on my folks' insurance. So
Oh,
this shit's about to
wow.
get real for me now. I mean, I got to get my teeth done. I got to go in and get a check up. I got to do some shit before that runs out in September. So I'm on a time.
That hurts.
So you're saying dental hygiene is what you care about in 20 going
Dental
from 20
out of
to
everything.
2019.
Insurance and dental. Yeah,
Insurance.
for sure.
Okay.
I was
You should be
reading
worried about dental
an
too.
article on Facebook the other day.
All right, bro, I'm about to cook you.
But with the Keisha cold gap, oh boy, why you doing
Bro, they
this?
can brush twice a day at one time. Talking about, but I'm telling you, teeth was important, bro. You don't want to.
I'm not saying it's not important, bro.
One of the things
this
I
is not a
noticed
big
with a lot of
issue,
black-
though. That's what I'm saying. Like, what are you
That's
talking
something
about?
that's something that me in specific
And you
am
care
worried
about meaningless things.
What?
No.
How's that meaningless?
Insurance
I'm
is
talking about
definitely.
I'm talking about overall in general. So like when you say
Health-
insurance,
He said health insurance.
Oh, you
Health
talking about
insurance is
overall.
Yes,
everything.
yes.
What
You
about-
just got
what about
vision,
vision,
teeth.
dental,
what
the
about
whole
health
thing.
insurance?
What about it? I'm
Like,
worried.
do you
I
want it
want to
for
make sure that
everybody?
I'm worried more so about people.
He said, I'm
You
not
asking about
Obama.
issues
He
that
said-
I'm focused on. That's pertaining to me. Like I worry about me, and then I got everybody else. I'll start thinking about that. But as
You
far
said
as
I can't bless others unless I'm blessed
real
myself.
talk, real talk. But that, and I mean, it's near and dear to my heart now that the immigration policy, like that shit. That
Yeah,
shit is
that
something
hits
I've been
home.
looking into now. When I seen some videos on Instagram, it's crazy how social
I've
media
been talking
is.
to my mom about getting a dual not internship. Jesus Christ, a dual citizenship.
Just in case.
Between here and Jamaica. Yeah, so it's for me specifically, because I'm not a Jamaican citizen, but my mom and the rest of my family is, and I think I want to get like a dual.
Because you was born here, right?
I was born here, so just in case shit pop off, I could just get them through. Because
People always say that you ain't going to Jamaica. You gonna stay here.
I have a beautiful house. I'm going to
Jamaica
Jamaica.
ain't bad.
I
I
ain't got
bet.
shit in
but
Mexico, but family. I was probably trying to get here.
The people in
he
Mexico
can
don't
barely
have shit in
speak
Mexico
Spanish.
right
Real talk. That matter of fact, maybe it would be good for me to get up through.
now. Just go.
What about you, Chill? What you looking for? What would you like to see, like within the next couple years?
I would like to see the middle class actually expanding more than dwindling. I feel like just pretty much they're making it harder and harder for the millennial, which is we're all going to live through this. We're going to be the body trying to support, not only like Social Security, which won't exist by the time we get old and we need it, but nevertheless, just more student loan debt, like just
That needs to
making
go.
it. The whole market is switching, so just going to a digital platform, more technology as far as for machines doing more work, and we have to adapt around that. You can't just work at a job 30, 40 years, get a pension. Nah, you got to hop around, see what you like first, and then on top of that, you got to invest a lot more first as well. So I don't know, man. It's to get around that. I just feel like it sucks for us, but we're gonna have to do it. So
Do y'all think if we was like upper class, we would give a fuck about what goes on in the middle class and the progression in the lower class?
We wouldn't care
Progression.
about the middle class. We'd care about upper class issues.
If I was still a businessman, I would care.
if I worked my way up to that, what you mean, like born into it? You're saying? Or
Yeah, both.
I
If
say
you was born into it, or if you worked your way to it.
If you worked your way to it, I feel like you appreciate the lower class and middle. You'll be more considerate,
I
because
feel like you'd be like, I went through that shit. I'm not going back.
right.
I mean,
I've
of
talked
course.
about it enough.
Of course, but there's still means of ways to help people out who've been in your situation, to give opportunities. That's the best thing you can ever give.
But I feel like
people,
as
you feel me?
millennials, we're known as selfish people. I mean, like we just got
That's
off a
stigma, at
conversation of him
Touche.
for Swaff only caring about his teeth and nobody else's teeth.
Touche.
So it's like how do we change that? Like is that something that is only to selfish people like him, or is it more of this? Does that speak volumes about like our generation and what's to come?
Kind of have to be selfish at this point. We have nothing.
Damn,
Like, look at the grant. We have nothing.
I
Look at
mean-
the
we
grand
ain't.
scheme
This
of
ain't
things.
pursuit of happiness. We got something.
I mean, it kind of sucks, but like we will all have to be on the same page, and we've came from generation after generation after generation where we've never been on the same page. So it's like we're just the offspring of that, and it's just gonna get worse and worse. I feel like I want to be optimistic, though. I'm definitely gonna do my part as long as I can to, try to make things easier, or even when we do get to that level where we don't have to worry about no financial means and really give back, when we can. But you can only do so much, bro, before hurting your pockets,
All right. Do you feel like you have to be selfish for a period just so you can get right, and then you can
Definitely.
get back? Or
Definitely.
Do you think through and through you can just
I think-
I mean, you
selfless?
can't give if you don't got nothing.
Right.
Exactly.
But
So-
my mindset is more like they don't have to be mutually exclusive. Like you don't have to cut everybody off and focus on yourself. And then when you come up, then that's when you give back. Like you can still like help out as much as you can by
That-
dropping knowledge or like
small things.
and like I said, we ain't hobos out here. You know what I'm saying? Like we got some change. Just that
Yeah.
like you always put time and effort into what you care about. So like if you care about helping out the community, you'll figure out some way to volunteer or do all this. Or like if you care about certain organizations or certain issues, then you'll figure out a way to support that.
But as far as for just people with bigger, more impact, you already know dollars is more and more. dollars,
Yeah, I
more
mean, money
impact.
always brings more
we could change
opportunity.
one life at a time. I do agree with
Yeah.
that, and you do.
And at the end of the day, that's
little man
the
route.
main goal. Like that's what like, you don't have to do like LeBron and build a whole school. Like you could
What's
just
the most selfless
LeBron,
thing
a
y'all
man.
think y'all have done that comes to the top of your head?
selfish,
Selfless.
selfless.
Like where you say I contributed to the community, or I did my part to this point. What's something that comes off the top of your head?
I know definitely, like when I was in high school going around, we played for a lot of like cancer, leukemia, lymphoma society, raised a lot of money and gigging, and we were kids. We weren't getting paid like all that, you know what I'm saying, all that money. But when they explained the cause for it, it made us want to even, all right, well shoot, we're gonna jam, let's jam out. Let's do it even harder. I know even Princeton, remember back in high school, they had the cure for cancer. And they had that. That was another little.
you saying they had the
concert.
cure for cancer? Or you saying that's what the event
That's
was
what
called?
it was called. That's what the event was. I'm
I was
sorry.
about to say,
yeah,
bro,
yeah.
Princeton had
No.
the cure for cancer. They
There's
holding
something
out
in the water.
Yeah, we need to go back. Nah, the show was called Cure for Cancer, and so yeah, and then we would raise money, and that was another means. A lot of my musicianship, I've donated a lot of time in regards to that to just raise money, just doing my little part, something simple, just playing the sax.
My thing was, I got two things. First of all, when me and Suave, remember we was staying in the apartments and I had the food stamps. I gave back to the community then because I was feeding the streets. I had everybody cook. I was cooking tilapia for everybody. Before I realized that tilapia was bad, then I stopped.
He fed
I was
half
gonna
a
say,
floor of a
he
dorm
was
room.
feeding us
That was
Flint
it.
water.
What you talking about, man? That came from Boston. It didn't come from Flint.
He was feeding his niggas and white
tilapia.
privileged kids as well.
Hey, I was feeding the streets.
you can't be
I helped out
pro-black.
y'all all eat. That's all I gotta say.
You can't be pro-black and feed the black community
can't-
tilapia.
You can't feed white people and be pro-black. Y'all scared. Nah, but the second thing was I like what I did at UC, the University of Cincinnati, where there's an African student organization I was a part of called UCASA, and we helped send black people to different African countries every year. Like we went to Botswana, we went to
Botswana was.
we went to
My goodness.
Where else did we go to? Dang.
Yeah.
We went to about 5 different countries. Like I think Ethiopia. We went to Nigeria. We went to Ghana. We went to.
I didn't get a chance to go to South Africa, did you?
No.
That's a whole different region.
That's
That's
a whole
but
different-
we
we-
hop back on the plane.
But
for
I
that
like
one.
how we
Yeah.
was taking like Black Americans because we were Africans, so we already knew we had to go back. But like we also took like other Black Americans too who never been out of the country, let alone to Africa, and like they always came back like saying this is the best decision I ever made. You know, even though it was like it was some money and you had to get like you had to actually work for it. It wasn't like a free trip. But like it was worth it because like even after we went to the schools and all that, we had fun too. Like we went to the safaris and all that. We stayed at a nice resort and all that. Imani, you could speak to that. Like
I did a lot of what would you call that? Service
yeah,
over there in terms of
Mhm.
on top of learning a lot because they taught us a lot about the government and things like that and the AIDS epidemic that was out there. So it was a balance of fun, like you said, but we did a lot of giving back to the government. They taught us stuff, and then we went to the kids' school that one day, and we taught them a lesson in regards to the major that we were in. So I'm a communications and a marketing major. So I made a lesson plan in terms of how to write a speech. So we were sitting there with the kids and
I know them
on the
African.
chalkboard.
I know them African kids can sing, boy. You get a choir.
I
Them
have a
African
video,
kids.
guys.
It's
I
got-
might
I got
post this
vi-
on my
I got
No
video.
Disrespect page of the kids
God.
singing. Oh my
They
God! It brought a
they be
tear to my
in
eye.
sync.
Nah,
too.
they be dancing too. Like y'all think Black Boy JB got a good and like they was
Yeah,
moving,
but-
and I'm talking about they like 12-year-olds all like aligned
In their little
up.
uniforms, they line up outside. So I think in the mornings they do like morning prayer together. And they're all in their uniforms and they're outside. And because they knew we were coming, we were like the special guests of the day. And then the principal was just like 1, 2, 3. And I don't know when they practice these songs, but man, I don't know if
They
they practice
practice
them during
every
lunch.
Nah, they be at school from like 7 to 7.
Yeah, to be there all day.
But nah, if you ever
seen
seen the movie Serafina, that's exactly what you would experience.
Serafina,
If you
wow,
never-
you just
it's
brought
a-
it back.
I thought he was about to say Hotel Rwanda. I was about to say.
Bruh, why you always gotta make that type of African joke, bro?
Damn.
Run. Shout out to Don Cheadle.
Nah.
Don Dill.
Shout out to Whoopi Goldberg. Serafina was fire.
I'm glad you brought that
Shout
up
out
because
to
I was
Whoopi.
gonna say something else. But I'm
Whoopi.
glad I forgot that I had that whole experience in Africa. That's weird that I quote unquote.
can't
All right,
forget
dang,
about
I was just talking about how it changed Black people's lives. And she like, oh, I forgot about that.
I was
Nah.
thinking about for me personally in terms of because funds are not something that I can give, so I can only give my time and my knowledge. So when I was part of the dance team at UC, there was a lot of freshman students that came to be part of the dance team, and they didn't have much knowledge on dance, is what I'm trying to say. So like I was able to teach them a lot going through that process.
That's dope.
And then it was only like my second year on the team at that point, but you just realize that once you get a little closer to these people, because once you're on a new team, you don't really talk in the beginning. But once you get closer, you realize everybody's life and their background stories. And I realized that I was older than a lot of these people, and I was just able to just give like life advice that I had.
Right.
So as minuscule as that seemed, it was so helpful to them because I'm like,
It's impactful.
it's impactful because it's something that I've been through.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have a lot more to learn, obviously, as I go along. I'm only 22 years old, but I'm talking about freshmen who are coming in as 17, 18-year-old, just going into the college game and trying to figure out how does college work? What do we do while we're here? Like, and there's a lot of stuff that I wish that people would have told me while I was in college before I finished.
And I feel like that's important too. Like the little shits those go a long way. I think a lot of times when you think about like giving back to the community, we be looking for lump sums. Like LeBron James will contribute, like won't build a school for some
Right.
people. But on our level, like you said, middle class, there's only so much we're gonna be able to give, or we're in a position to give. I know when I was back in high school, it was like every summer it was called summer of service. We would go out and do little shits like. We would wrap gifts and then we would send them out once Christmas time came. We would do simple stuff like going out and buying dinners for people, going out and seeing people on the streets and telling them about the closest shelter, just little shits like that. And now that I'm older, back then I was just like, oh,
Just kind of doing it.
yeah, it didn't feel like like I was making much of a difference back then. Honestly, it just felt like, all right, I come here every summer. This is what we're gonna do.
Right.
But now that I look back at it, it's like I know those little things mattered because I be out here seeing people in worse situations than that I know would be so thankful if somebody came out and did something as simple as give them a sandwich.
It's the little things, guys. Smile at somebody when you see them today if you're listening to this podcast.
Not a nigga Wednesdays.
Not a nigga Wednesdays. We're bringing that back.
Hey, we bringing it back.
What is it called?
I still been nodding to niggas on Wednesdays. So
I know, I
Why
I
only
ain't
on
never left.
Wednesdays?
I don't know. He
Why
just,
only
he just
on
picked a
Wednesday?
random day.
You know,
He
you
ba-
just- no, you
basically, he just walks down the street, and if he sees a black person, he gives him the black nod. That's
Well,
it.
it's a lot to ask for to do it every
You know what
single
I'm
day.
saying? One nod. And if you nod back, I know you've been through what I've been through. If you don't, you're a jackass.
If they give you that,
I've got
if
that
they give you
for
the white man's,
Well, they don't nod back. They just shake their
I
head.
nod, bro. They don't even.
They
They,
give-
just stare at me.
I was about to say they give you the white man's eyebrow shrug,
I'll be like, damn.
lips creased.
But guys, listen, I wanna kind of bring it back in terms of the issues that we're dealing with as young Black millennials. So for me now, in that specific topic, I was reading this article on Facebook the other day in regards to somebody was in a college class, and the professor was like, "How many of you are in the process of buying your own house? Raise your hand." And all the kids in the room kind of looked at him like he was crazy. Like, what do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? Buy your own house? He's like, you guys are around the age now where I was buying my own house at the age of like 22.
Mm.
And I was reading that. I'm like, wow, I'm 22. And I'm nowhere near even in the process of buying a house. I do have a friend who recently has bought a house. Her name is Christine. And the point that the article is trying to make is that we're in a position where you could see the difference between like the baby boomer era and then our millennial era, where they had more resources and more money where they could even look to buy a house. I can't even look into that department right now, being a millennial, because of all the
You can
student
look.
debt.
My-
I mean, I can look.
You just can't touch it.
Yeah.
the student debt, the money, the what they're paying us in terms of wages is a
Yeah.
lot lower than what it was.
My first question to that was like, why did your professor shit on y'all like that? Like,
Real talk.
Yeah, it was really just a
Like,
random article. I don't know who it was.
Wow.
It was like he was like, my nigga, like I've been doing this shit. Like,
Right.
No, but I think that's a good thing
Hard
to think
lesson
about. Like, you're never too young to start something or like to
Mhm.
start to build. And
That's
I
my
think that
concern.
as young people, like we're all about to be 25, 26, so we're going on to the later half of our 20s. But even early on, we've always talked about. I mean, when we even started this podcast, it was always with a business mind in hand. As far as like, we wanted to be basically, we're trying to not have a job that we don't like and contribute to that, and start contributing to our own ideas and our own stuff, and hopefully receive payment for that.
So,
I
Nick,
think
would
that-
you say you're an entrepreneur?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, we've already created different platforms. Willie and Marcus, they got their music going. We have other friends who got different platforms that they got going that they've created. So I think
got
that
Kirk
we're
Cooks
all
in the
we're all
kitchen.
trying to create opportunity for all of us to succeed and like not have to answer to anybody else.
I mean, I got friends who are solely focused on being in a good position in the labor force, in the workforce.
Like they
So,
are okay with.
They're not
going
looking
to
to
their
be
jobs every day.
entrepreneurs. They're looking at getting to the
A check.
highest they can in their company, the company that they're working for, with no eyes of one day being like, oh, maybe I could be CEO. No, they're looking like maybe I can be, maybe I can just motherfucking be VP of national sales or some shit like that. You feel me? It's not like I want this to be my own thing.
So you just
in
want to be
their
a part of the
eyes-
brand.
Yeah, they buying
So in
into
their
the
eyes,
system.
would entrepreneurship be like overrated to them?
It might be. I mean, I know it's definitely less secure to them. Like in their eyes, entrepreneurship is not a sure thing enough for them to put.
It's not. It
you
takes a
know,
lot of
take
time
the
and money.
risk.
Yeah.
it's a big risk to be like in certain situations you come from, or I don't know. I just kind of look at it like I know my nigga. He's in a good situation. Like his parents is good. He's good. His financial situation is straight. He don't have to worry about that. But at the same time, he can't. It would be frowned upon in his family to go out on his own to try to make something happen, like on a whim of one of his passions. Because his passions is like sports. He must be a sports commentator, some shit like that. Sports manager. He's not
Really?
going in that direction because it's less secure than what he got going on
And that's
now.
and that's what I was about to say. Like, in some cases, I won't even say that entrepreneurship is overrated. I would just say people look at entrepreneurship as like, I have to do all the work, and some people just ain't built for that. Like, some people ain't meant to be.
Like business owners.
Yeah,
That's
because
hard.
it's just like you sacrifice so much because you putting you're rolling the dice on yourself, and it
Literally.
basically it makes you look in the mirror and say like, am I really this good, or am I really this talented, or are my ideas practical? Can I make this into reality? And some people, like, when they see that, or when they ask themselves those hard questions, they look back on themselves and be like, damn, you know what? To be honest, I'd rather go get this check that I guarantee I know I'll get the same amount every
Mhm.
2 weeks than for me to be fluctuating like I'm a waiter or something, and getting different types of payments every time I clock in or every time I'm trying to do my own thing.
Man, I can't do that, bro. I'm sorry. Because whatever that guaranteed bread they got every 2 weeks, that's just not even still a guaranteed check. Just from where our standpoint is looking upward. If you're born into a situation or born into money, that's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, why not? I mean, you on this world to, and my idealism, you're on this planet to do, God's work. And if God gave you a talent, He's giving you that to make money with it. You're exalting him in that standpoint. So you'll be doing yourself a disjustice. You're cheating yourself if you don't hold out your passion or actually fall through and execute what you really want to do in life. I feel like you're just running around in circles.
So you saying
the dude I was talking about, he's actually he doesn't believe in God.
I was about to say, so you saying if you're not an
under-
entrepreneur, you don't believe in God?
No. I said that's why I got specific.
You
and
said you
said,
atheist if you work 9 to 5?
Oh no, real talk. You an atheist if you work 9 to 5,
bro. Chill out.
So
But
Willie,
I said that's why I said
you-
under my idealism.
Willie, do you frown upon people who work a 9 to 5 job?
Hey, you damn Skippy.
Why?
How
So
dare
you're
you?
frowning upon yourself?
Yes.
You wake up grumpy?
Yes.
I wake
Yes.
up upset that I gotta
I'm
go to
sick
this
of
shit.
this shit. Real talk. And if you don't feel the same either.
I didn't say I didn't.
Oh no, I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to make
We
a
gotta
good day,
have a
good day.
discussion, nigga.
I'm just saying.
I'm not gonna put that on other
I'm just
people,
saying
though.
most people in this country, America, just specifically, I could say globally, but I'm just saying for America, most people in this country are not happy with themselves. Real talk.
So if you
they
have
are
a
not
friend-
happy with themselves in their life situations.
If you have a friend who has a talent and you know they have a really good talent, because I'm in this situation, and
You talking about yourself?
no, I'm talking about I'm the person who has a
Dang,
friend.
I think I know where you're going, and I have a friend too like that.
Where they just have like undeniable talent, whatever it is, it's their passion, but they don't want to do anything with it other than whatever they're doing with it at that moment. So say it's a dancer, for example, it's a really good dancer, and they can go on tour with like Beyonce or whatever, but they decide on a day-to-day, I'm just going to go to the studio down the street and take classes, and that's fine with me. And then on my business side, I want to go to my 9 to 5 job. Do you frown upon those people as well because they're not fully executing?
I be getting frustrated
Frown.
sometimes, honestly, because I know I have a bad habit. Like I be pushing. I have a friend like that too, who she has many talents, and I'll be like pushing her towards the entrepreneur route, but she don't be, it don't really be taking her. It goes in one ear out the other. She's like, that's not what she's trying to do.
That's not her focus.
Right, that's not what she's trying to do with her life, but it's what she wants to do with her free time. So I'm like, you should see that shit aligns. You feel me? You should be able to.
Make money
Your
off
work
that.
should feel like your free time.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And
But-
you can sustain a living
Well, that's-
off that.
Yeah,
that's
she's
what
not
I'm
looking
saying.
at it like that, and I feel wrong sometimes. Like when I'm pushing that on her, I'm like,
And that's what I'm saying. Like you can't. Like it's just like with a
Frown
child.
upon is a harsh word. I'll definitely say, yeah, frustrated could be a good word for it. But I mean, I would definitely do my justice to slide in my words. Only that you can lead the horse to the water. Can't make it drink.
That's what I was about to say. It's like a parent and a child. Like you could want something for them so much, but they got to come to that. And it's like that's why I say some people just ain't built for it. Like some people. I'm sure there's more people. There's always that saying that like LeBron James really ain't the best basketball player ever, like throughout the whole world. Like there's somebody better than him. It's just that he don't care about his craft as much as he do, or like he didn't get those opportunities.
As like LeBron James.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's like there's other people who are talented that just don't do it. They just don't do the work.
Yeah.
So I don't blame them for that. It's just that I know if I had that, I know what I would do with it.
You just can't say and nobody ain't tell you, and you can't complain about your 9 to 5 shitball job. More than likely, now
Some
if you
people's
get
job is live though.
Yeah,
Some
I'm about to
people's
say
job
if you
is
get a
good.
live job, shoot, you living in life. You did the cheat code, brother. Or sister, but
also if y'all was getting paid coming out of college, y'all got paid $150 a year. Y'all be cool with y'all 9 to 5.
It depends
I
on
would
what I'm
be-
doing.
Put the entrepreneurship to the back burner.
It depends
Nah.
on what I'm doing.
You take that 150 and make it work for your
exactly.
entrepreneurship.
I'll make that
For me, at
150
least.
and save as much as I can, and then quit and then do it in the
If you're getting 150, you have no time. You're not gonna have no time. There's not a job
'cause
that
that
you
you're
get 150
investing,
for
yeah.
that it's not taking up not
Well,
only
I mean,
your
like,
time when you're at work, but when you're out
What
of
if
work.
what if you're like a YouTuber like who does like these YouTube videos and you get a bunch of views?
So
and all
I'm
that
glad you
stuff?
brought that
You
up
doing what
because
you
Them,
like.
the
Shit coming up.
untraditional type of 9 to 5s or whatever.
so we're in a time now where there's a lot of like untraditional jobs and people are really getting paid for them. Like social media is a hell of a thing. People are blowing up. And in terms of YouTube specifically, I'm a really big YouTube fan. So I've been watching YouTube since they were created in 2003.
That's crazy.
So
I have not been watching it since then.
I have.
love YouTube. and you guys always ask me like, why don't I watch this show? Why don't I catch up on that movie? Because I'm watching YouTube. I'm following these people's
I don't know what that
lives.
says about you.
I was gonna say, that's interesting.
I'll be
I
Arnold
don't think
Palmer half and half.
That's
I've watched
interesting to
videos
me.
on YouTube, but to be like, I watch YouTube.
Yeah,
That's
no,
like
exactly.
I
but
tune
that's
into
a
just
thing.
YouTube itself. Like
It's
whatever's on there,
YouTube
I'm
TV
gonna.
type shit. Like it's and there's so many different things on there in terms of what people are doing now with the YouTube thing. You have, I'm just telling what like me specifically what I'm interested in. I go from watching gaming channels to family vloggers to makeup gurus, people who do hair, nail videos, people who just do like scary, creative stuff. I started off watching Dormtainment. That's what hooked me on.
Oh
to
yeah,
YouTube.
Dormtainment was huge.
Back
They
in the
was
day,
funny.
that's what like hooked me to
They still
YouTube.
funny.
Yeah,
they
still
on TV shows.
You
and stuff.
remember that one comedy dude?
That made the Unforgiving.
Not the Unforgivable, but the other comedy dude, bro. King McLean.
Kane Carter.
Kane Carter.
Kane.
Bruh, he had a
is
mental
hilarious.
breakdown.
I was gonna say he went through an episode.
He had a mental breakdown, bro.
That's why
he
he
don't
left
do he don't
YouTube for a couple of years.
yeah
and
he
came
don't do
back.
funny videos. He do like
He does exercise
inspirational
videos
deep
now.
videos and stuff like that. Like
Now
He
Right
does
now?
inspirational
Yeah, like, he
videos
still
and he
do
does workout
videos.
videos. So
Yeah,
he doesn't do the funny thing
yeah.
anymore.
I saw that happening too.
he did
Like,
a whole video about why he don't do it no more.
Wow. He said
It
he
started
was
with the
just making
car
it crazy.
accident,
No, it
And from
was
there
like
it went
life was
downhill.
happening.
and then
to
he got
like,
another car
he
accident.
lost
Wow.
he lost his best friend. He got a car accident. Some other like life hit him hard. Like
And he just went through a lot,
Yeah.
and he hasn't posted in a while. And then one day he just randomly
He'll post-
popped up on my thing because I was still subscribed to him, and he just started posting again.
he
But it's
posts
about
like Jay
different stuff.
Electronica drop songs. Like it's like every once in a while.
When do he change?
That's exactly.
He got features. Shit.
So in terms of YouTube and what people are doing on there, because I've watched it for so long, I've seen people who start off on YouTube just posting videos. They like it the same way you guys make content and you post it on the internet. They were just posting it just to post it. And now I'm talking about millions of subscribers, and you would be so surprised of like what the complex is in terms of what these people do to even get the subscribers. So a lot of people used to make fun of me because I used to watch the gaming channels. That man has about 15 million subscribers now.
That's.
You know how much
I
money
didn't
is in his bank
realize
account
back
every
then
single
I
month?
was sitting and watching people build a brand.
And they didn't, but that's the thing. They
You don't
didn't
know.
either.
You don't know it until just like with Bitcoin. Like nobody knows this stuff is gonna be valuable.
Again,
until it
Bitcoin.
happens.
I didn't realize
Yeah.
like I was missing out day to day.
Even
Every
the
single day I didn't buy,
YouTubers.
I was losing money.
Literally.
Right. That's
But
what
Literally.
you don't think about just like with this. There was somebody who started doing podcasts, and they didn't. You know what I'm saying? They didn't see where this was all going to. Now everybody basically from the A-listers down to just us, like grassroots, like they be doing podcasts and stuff like that too. And you're now seeing people getting money off it. You doing live shows where you just
Right.
sitting there
just
talking.
doing the podcast.
You know what I'm saying? So like you don't
Right.
see an opportunity until it actually happens. So
But they even when they were posting these videos, again, they were just posting it out of leisure. They didn't even know that they were building a brand. And then somehow it was just a switch on YouTube where like people found ways to get endorsement deals, and they're collabing. If you're a family vlogging channel, you're collaborating with Pampers to get those deals. And then you're also looking at if you have different brands like Honey Nut Cheerios, just random stuff
No,
that
real
are coming
talk.
up to you, and those are checks on top of what YouTube is paying you. So it's like that unconditional stuff, and they get to do what they're passionate about, and they stay at home most of the time, and they just post videos all day. So it's like, do people? I don't think we're in a culture anymore where people frown on that YouTube complex.
Nah,
anymore. Everybody's trying to be a YouTuber.
I think it's just people ain't frowning upon
Saturated now.
untraditional ways of getting money now. Like you can get money in so many different ways, like cryptocurrency, doing this YouTube stuff, doing like what is it? Like people be eating products on like just recording themselves eating
the
different products,
mukbang.
testing out
Yeah.
products and stuff like that. Like it's just so many different ways you can get money now that's like everybody there's no really stupid idea no more.
Shout out to the beer
Real talk.
bonnet.
Damn.
The beer
Stop.
bonnet's a
That's
real
a
idea.
perfect way to put
Stop.
it. There's no stupid ideas no more.
At all.
Yeah,
And that's kind of
Not
scary
one.
when I say that.
you
'cause,
heard, you heard the beer bonnet?
Nah, what is that?
It's literally
Bro.
what it sounds like.
Like
It's
a
a
like the
bonnet you
female
put on your
bonnet.
beard.
that goes
beard
over
bonnet.
your beard.
I thought I made up.
He thought he came with an
I
invention.
called him on. I was like, man, I got this crazy idea for the beer bonnet. I googled it, bro.
I'm talking about nice.
They did it in better than you
designs.
thought about it.
They got
Whoa,
the
I
silk
was
on the
sick.
inside, so if you put products on your beard and stuff, it'll keep all the products at night, and so it can grow.
Let me
and-
I
look
tell
this
you,
up.
you might well go ahead and get you a beer
I
bonnet.
move
bro.
around too much when I
Don't
sleep,
get it.
so I
I'm
don't
gonna get you
know.
a for Christmas.
he said,
I'm gonna get you it
like,
for Christmas,
stops
bro.
Stuff, that's a good Christmas gift. It stops stuff from like getting inside your beard too. So like when you were smoking and like the ash in your beard?
Dang, you ain't had to put me out like that.
Yeah, but
Oh, when you
You said when you're smoking, you got
Yeah.
ash in your beard.
She's talking metaphorically. This is a
No,
family
Nick be
podcast.
ashes in his
This nigga
beard.
ashes in his beard.
No, I don't, bro. Shut up.
or if you're eating, you don't get food in
Don't
it.
get mad at me because you ass on your lip. It's so crusty. But
at least what you just because you breathe through your gap don't mean your t-shirt ain't baby. But,
He don't sip through his gap.
so you the only one that can whistle through their nose. But now like there's a lot of stuff that people can do now to make money. And YouTube is definitely one of them. But speaking of YouTube, bro, it's something that's gotten a lot of views. What do y'all think about? This is random. We gonna switch topics a little bit, but
Switch gears a little bit.
that Nicki Minaj, Tekashi 6ix9ine, what is it, Fifi? That track.
Fifi.
Hey, I'm glad you.
That track is getting steam.
I'm glad you brought that up because this is a
Fifi.
perfect time to introduce my brother, my cousin, Doe.
Yo.
He's the one who put me on low key to Tekashi. That's one of the only artists he ever put me on
First time
to.
you gave me credit to putting you on the.
I don't know if
listen.
you want credit for Tekashi, bro. You don't smile at that.
He didn't put me on to Tekashi like as an artist. He put me on to Tekashi's geniusness as a marketer. And
All
as
right,
a,
we
like,
throwing the word G.
Nah,
Yeah.
I've been hearing this at the house, but he has a couple of valid points, but most
How
are
long are the
garbage.
songs? The songs be like 2 minutes long.
what does that matter? That's even more impressive.
From a marketing standpoint, bro. Ain't nobody in the game.
He losing money.
Tekashi
He ain't
right
making
now,
money. He been getting kicked off tours and all that. Can't go
He
to
just
perform.
came back from a worldwide tour.
What tour was he on?
He just went on his own tour through the Czech Republic. It was like international. He just came back. That's the night he got robbed. He got back.
Yeah, wow.
Nah, for real.
Wow.
The man is his own brand, bro. Like that's a marketing dream.
Have-
Like somebody you don't have to spend no money on.
Have you heard the track?
What, Fifi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you think about it?
Played that shit on the way here.
It's
That shit
good.
is hot, bro.
It's good. It's a
hot.
good song, and I don't even like Tekashi like at all.
And that song is, I mean, the song is top 10, I think, on Hot
Yeah,
100.
it was top
It's top
5.
three.
It's
It was
top
top.
five.
It was top one at one point.
Yeah, it took over. In My Feelings.
Really?
Oh, it knocked
it
Drake
knocked
down.
In My Feelings.
Yeah.
Yo, Young
So
Money
Nicki,
just
Nicki
be-
did her thing on it?
Tekashi did his thing on it, bro.
Okay. So this brings up a great question that you guys are saying that
He fouled.
who benefited more from the collaboration, Tekashi or Nicki?
Nicki.
I would say Nicki.
I was gonna say
I say
Tekashi.
Tekashi. I agree with Suave.
Nikki.
Tekashi needed that mainstream
Right.
audience.
That's what he was dangerous. Like he was underground. He was becoming an underground king at the end of the day. But
Right.
commercially, no one was really
Because
fucking
you have to
with
think,
him.
even though you guys don't really mess with Nicki right now, she got mad brands attached to her name. She is a household name.
That's
so even
fine.
if even if her music career today flopped and she never released another album again,
She's good.
She's still good.
She's
But you gotta see the forest from the trees. Like obviously right now.
I hate that.
You can't see
that saying.
the air from the wind.
But now I get what you're saying.
Nah,
though,
but you know what I'm saying? Like we
Kid from
always
the
we
cat.
talk about like, oh, Nicki's the bigger brand, so that's clear. Obviously, that's what's in front of you. But as far as this year or the last couple years holistically, she hasn't had a hit in a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So it's like this, and she's been trying. It's not like she hasn't been trying. Like her biggest record so far has been Chung Lee, and that wasn't even a top. Was that a top 10 record?
It was.
Nikki,
had to be.
Nikki ain't
I'm
drop
a
a good
fact
song.
checker.
I'm about to say
Okay,
fact
so
check.
in
If it
4
wasn't,
years.
I-
Nicki's having a down year, but career wise, it doesn't compare like to Tekashi's doesn't compare to hers. I mean,
obviously because he's a newborn in this.
right?
You
so
can't
then-
compare the two, but I feel like the example would be kind of like a Mac and like the Kylie Jenner brand. Like, of course, like 2 years ago, Kylie Jenner was nowhere near where Mac it was or is, but now she's $1 billion brand. Like, I feel like Tekashi's projection and like where he's going with it is like, you know, he's not even plateaued yet, and he's in the top 5 on the Billboard. You feel me? Nicki is.
I think he
reached her
plateaued. though.
height.
Like I don't see him get. He's to me.
I mean,
he's
that's
not
his
gonna be here
first.
for that long.
That's his first major
You don't think he's gonna be here for
He's
that
not
long?
gonna be
That's
here
a
for
good.
that
That's
long.
a.
I think he's the first artist of that type of like generation that will be here, that will last. Like I feel like the whole underground scene, all of that shit has changed. Like underground rappers, like underground rap has became like, I feel like the focal point of hip hop. To be honest, like they get the most streams.
I wouldn't consider him.
I don't think you
underground rap.
realize. Also, I don't think you realize. You're probably talking about
he's
just
underground.
true
He's
hip hop fans or
independent.
some
I
shit
won't
like
say
that.
underground.
I don't think you realize how big his fan base is as far as like
crazy.
outside of just the hip hop community.
I'm not saying he.
He
don't
has
have
a lot of
fan
rock
base.
fans.
I'm not saying he don't have a fan base. I say I don't think he's gonna last that.
The fan
long.
base is how you last long though.
But he's not gonna last that long.
How do you not? When his
That
fan
type-
base
that
is
type of
already
music doesn't
comparing
age
to
well.
currency, and
That type of
currency's
mu-
still around.
That type of music doesn't age
Niggas like
well.
that.
Yeah, I feel like we maneuvering from that though, like where that type of music doesn't last long to like this is a whole new era. We gotta realize like, bro, we in what's 2018 now.
The mumble
do
rap
y'all-
You know what I'm
era.
saying?
Do
This
you-
is the era
do-
for that shit to like.
Do you feel like Tekashi 6ix9ine could adapt to hip hop, kind of like how Jay-Z did throughout the years? You
I
know,
feel
Nah.
like hip hop
Kanye.
is adapting to those
Because he
kids,
doesn't have
like,
a different. He doesn't have different styles. He's just that brand. Like his brand is one type of way. Like it's not like he has different type of flows or different energies or different concepts that he's bringing to the forefront.
Fifi was a different
Gummo,
flow.
Fifi, what you mean? Those are two
Bruh.
different, completely
Fi-
different tracks.
Bruh, I don't.
Fifi had Nicki on it, so that was a Nicki influence on the track.
Well, if he keeps getting features,
Nicki
what?
cosign. Good
Huh?
Nicki cosign.
If big artists keep trying to come and feature with
what
him,
big artist outside of Nicki is trying to collaborate?
No,
He's
that was his
saying
I'm
first
just
moving
saying if
forward.
they, if they
Moving
start
forward.
coming.
I mean,
'Cause of
obviously
the
we playing
success.
ifs, ands, or buts. We can project how
I
far he's
mean-
gonna go, but I'm talking about for right now.
For
I
right
think-
now, he's the hottest in the game. So what are
He's
you
the
talking
hottest.
about? You don't want to bring it in projections and
I said,
guesstimations.
I said based off the music he's doing, I've never seen it last that long. So I'm not gonna assume that he is.
I think we're in an age now to where the radio artists are dying out to the internet artists, like the streams.
Because what's different?
Because it's about streams.
What's the difference between him and
nowadays.
Chief Keef then? Like as far as that type of
Streams.
energy,
I feel like
he had a
Chief
huge
Keef-
fan base.
Chief
I feel
Keef
like
doesn't
Chief
have a
Keef
like
came before
Instagram.
his-
he
fan
stopped,
base.
though.
He had
stopped
hit,
at some
He had
point.
top records at the time. He
Right,
was
but
he
stopped.
listen,
stopped,
Chief
though.
True.
Keef doesn't have the Instagram following. If you always go on the Shade Room, you see Tekashi with a new funny video. He just did a video with Trey Songz randomly and making himself sing. It's the little gimmicky things, and
And Chief Keef is not as marketable as him, unfortunately.
They're both the
They're
same.
both hard.
I'm about to say they're
hard
both
to
hard.
market.
What are you doing?
You would think Tekashi
Don't make it seem like it's
easy
Drake
to
and
be
Keef.
marketed.
But
He has rainbow hair.
He's
Right.
making it easy to market himself. Chaos is good marketing. I feel like Chief
Exactly.
Keef,
To an extent.
to an extent, I feel like Chief
So
Keef
people being-
wasn't consistent with that. Tis why he kind
people
of fell
who-
back a bit.
So he brings negative energy to his.
You had a
shows.
Kanye cosign compared to a Nicki cosign. You gonna do nothing with that? That's your fault.
He had records before Nicki did,
Whoa,
so it's
whoa,
not
I feel like
yeah.
a Nicki cosign. is
That's
bigger
not
than
a
Kanye.
Nicki cosign. It's just Nicki getting on the train because she's trying to get somewhere.
I know. Well, it is that. That is part and true
No
itself.
disrespect.
Why are you making
Nah,
it like
disrespect.
Nicki?
Nah,
Yeah,
shit.
like ball. Like,
No, I
What
agree.
are you talking about?
like
her,
Nicki is
bro?
not washed up.
Hold on. First of all, I love Nicki. All right, don't let's
He said, I feel attacked.
I feel like Chief Keef missed his era. Like, you know how you ever heard that saying, "Oh, you came before your time." Like,
They
you know what I
weren't
mean?
ready
Like,
for you.
they just weren't ready for Chief Keef. If Chief Keef came up in this era, he would be along the lines of
Tis
of
the consistency.
I can't
Tekashi,
say that because
of-
he had hit records, so it's not like he's not like
But he
somebody
didn't
who
You
was.
make it
stay.
seem like
He
it
didn't
was a
stay
lot.
though. That's why.
He
didn't
did
stay.
have a lot. He had Don't Like. He had what was his Love Sosa. He had the He had a like. at
He
least
had
4
three
records.
songs.
I was about to say,
3,
you're
4
not gonna
records.
finish a hand.
songs, exactly.
That's
You
because that's
damn
off the
sure ain't
top.
gonna
I don't
finish
care.
your
I don't know
hand.
his catalog like
He
that.
said,
Somebody listening and screaming his catalog. Like
I just feel like he missed the SoundCloud era. Like, if he would have came up with these SoundCloud rappers, he'd still be relevant. Like right now, I feel that's how I feel. Because I mean,
he's relevant.
Is
I think
he?
he's relevant.
is he?
He's only relevant low key because
What's the last project he dropped?
Nah, yeah, I'm about to say last time I heard about Chief Keef is
It
because
was
his
with Tekashi,
baby
it's 'cause
mama
of Tekashi, bro.
and Tekashi was on his baby
And I
mama.
heard Chief Keef's baby mama set Tekashi up, but obviously,
I don't know.
allegedly.
I don't like when
Nah, I
people
don't
they be
believe
bringing
that.
baby
You don't
mamas.
even
she,
no
was
friends.
she was in pictures of the nigga who had his chain on.
I don't.
Tekashi
Believe,
chain on.
they disposed of that rumor, bro. And he got his jewelry back. I just seen him.
I thought he bought it.
I'm not
over.
trying to sound like a fan.
thought he
but
bought
you
it
know,
over.
You sound like a fan.
I'm a fan.
Exactly.
but
Really
you
want
sound
no
like that.
friends.
Well,
Like
speaking
that
of
feature.
relevancy, like all right, so obviously we were talking about Nicki.
Mhm.
She pushed back her album and everything.
What- to what date?
I think the 17th or the 10th.
This month?
Yeah,
Stop.
You
Cut
sleep?
it out. Cut it out.
I think it's the 17th. I think it was supposed to come out on the 10th, and she pushed it back one more week because she's
so. This is her second time pushing it back then.
yes, because it was supposed to come out in July,
Right, and I
then
remember
pushed
she
it
made
back
that big
to
announcement.
August.
I didn't know she pushed it
And
back.
then she
again.
pushed it back again because she said there's this sample that she needs to get cleared. And she even sent a post on Twitter like, "Do y'all want the song or take it off?" Because that's what's going to debate on whether.
What was it, Fifi?
No. It was something else.
It's
It
all
was
this
like-
fire that's dropping, bro. She catching cold feet, bro. She knows she losing.
Right. She's like, hold
She
on,
knows
hold
this
on.
is pivotal
bro.
to her career. Like, if this album don't bang, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
It
bro.
is
I won't
a
say
rap.
it's a
It's
rap.
not a rap for her.
I would
money,
just say
but
It's a rap
It's
like
a
of
rap.
her status though in hip hop.
That's huge to her.
It's at jeopardy, but
She won't be
she
the
always
queen
gonna make
anymore.
money. She always gonna
Yeah.
be seen as that.
but she won't be the
I mean,
queen
Queen Bee.
of rap.
Yeah, Flo
and
Rida
that.
still makes money. but
Ironically
it's like-
enough.
And I was
checking for his album though. Like,
and I would say the reason why
Rider.
Ryder is making money.
I would say for me, I think the reason she pushed it back is because she knows that's the pressure is on her, and I
Mhm.
think I think legit. Like I have this is my last faith that I'm giving out to her. You know, like this is my last hope.
I agree.
I'm gonna give her all the benefit of the doubt because, I mean, her last album was actually pretty. I liked it. I didn't like all of it, but I liked the rap parts of it. So
The Reloaded.
no, the Pink Print.
Oh, the Pink Print.
Yeah. So like,
Man. It's
so
been
I
that
think
long?
I think
It was very average. I'm surprised
Yeah.
you're saying
Boo.
you liked it like that.
I thought you
like-
talking
I
about
He
always-
said,
I told
"Boo."
you.
sorry,
I
bro.
I'm
You
trying to
said
backtrack and
boo.
become a Nicki fan again.
No,
He's like,
I
I liked her last album.
I've been a Nicki fan. I told you Pink Friday. I think that's her best album. But I'm just
Of
saying,
all
like,
time.
Pink Friday was.
I think that this album has to execute because it's so much pressure on her. Because, like you said, if she does not execute well, especially with all these fire albums that came out, she gonna lose. She gonna drop down a peg or two.
She will, but it's not like you can't get back up. Like it'll just be a hiccup in her career. Like as far as like
there
her
ever
being
been
able to
somebody
have that.
who-
I mean,
bragging
her
right.
hiccup is right now. She hasn't dropped nothing good in almost 3 to 4 years.
Has there ever been
Solidly.
somebody who
Chung Lee
did
was
this where
good.
they
Chung Lee
where they
was
fell
good.
off
It was
and
alright.
then they came back? Has there
Back
been somebody
in
like
the
that?
that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
2
I feel like the
Chainz.
mode of
2
the
Chainz,
game
yeah.
is changing. Like nowadays,
He's the
I
main
feel like
guy.
because of how like the internet don't take no L's. Once you're like
Mac Miller.
seen as like ass, it's a wrap, bro. You're not coming back from that nowadays.
Bro, I don't
Everything stays
believe
on
that.
the
There was who was seen like ass and came back.
Who, bro?
Ray
See, we
J.
take it too long to think
You
of
said,
it, bro.
you said Ray J.
Ray J. He came back with one
And
wish.
whose eyes,
came
bro?
back with Love and
Who-
Hip Hop.
Did he come back?
He
I was
came back
gonna
with Love and Hip Hop, bro.
Ain't no,
He did not come back.
no disrespect. I was about to say R. Kelly. He dropped that I admit, bro.
I admit,
I am it, I admit.
That's kills though. You know
That's
what
a
I'm saying?
banger.
Like,
Oh.
That was the most genuine song R. Kelly could
is
ever
a whole
sung
nother
that didn't talk about
podcast
sex.
episode.
I'm just saying,
Literally.
there's. I think
Kanye.
she's not ass. Like if she doesn't do well on this album, she's not gonna go drop all the
Yeah.
way down to ass. Like
Yeah.
she's gonna be just a couple. Like obviously,
She's
not
just gonna be under
number
Cardi
one.
B.
Yeah, she's not gonna be number one.
oh,
Yeah.
J. Cole definitely had a bounce back.
nah,
For
J.
Your
Cole,
Eyes
you
Only
can't
was
say
a-
that. J.
For Your Eyes Only was a flop in his fan base.
He was still
Our
selling
fan
out
base eyes
stadiums
and-
though. He
Huh?
was still selling out stadiums.
I
Well,
like
for
the-
Your Eyes Only.
No,
yes,
he was.
He was still selling out.
During
That's
that
crazy.
time, but he was obviously performing his old shit.
You're always gonna be able to fall back on some shit like that. But what song are you bumping from For Your Eyes Only? What song do you recommend somebody to?
Man,
I
I
just
don't,
wanna
I
I
don't
don't
know
know
even.
about J.
blows
Cole.
with
Do
you.
you mention For Your Eyes Only in the
Hell
first
nah.
5 minutes?
That is
talking about
his
it?
worst
No.
album he has ever
But it
dropped.
happened in the middle of his career, so he bounced back from that. So he's one of those artists that really encompasses the bounce back.
But I don't feel like he was villainized for it. You get what I'm saying? Like he doesn't have that persona where people villainize him online for dropping that type of music because of how he carries like his
Himself.
career. You get what I'm saying? Like you can't post your accolades like Nicki Minaj does and like brag about yourself and not drop fire every single time. You get what I'm saying? Like people villainize you.
And I think when it comes to Nicki, and this will be the last point for us to wrap up. Like I think with her is like there's been so much pressure, and you could see her responding to it because people have been criticizing her, and she's been clapping back at them in ways that don't make her in the best light. You know what I'm saying? So it's like. She sees the hate.
She's still cocky.
She's the KD of the rap game right now. Like
she don't got the KD.
I'm talking about like
accolades
as
and
far
shit.
as
You talking about Nicki?
I'm talking about as far as responding to fans, like stuff like that. Like you know,
This how a bad bitch goes to treat line.
yeah. So it's like
You bitches are all my
so, like,
sons.
It's kind of like how like Kanye put pressure on him to have a good album and he didn't succeed. Like it's like if you talking all this shit and saying all this stuff and the music don't happen, like
That's true.
I need fire.
yeah,
That's true. So we can all agree the expectations for Nicki is high.
yes.
Yeah. Unfairly, but high. They are. I mean, that's
Yeah,
what
right, they're
happens.
unfairly high now. Deep down, what do you think?
I'm always gonna love Nicki, bro.
I'm saying, do you think she gonna meet them expectations, or is
No.
this the fall of Nicki?
I think she
No.
will.
I
think
have
she
no
will.
way of knowing because she hasn't even really dropped.
I
Like,
think
is
she
Chun
will.
Li gonna be on this
It has
album?
to be.
I hope
it has
not.
to be.
It has to
I
be.
hope not.
Chun-Li is probably the album.
I hope not.
If
She hasn't been the
Chun-Li
same without
reprised
Safari,
about
bro.
12 times.
Yep.
you know
Ever
when-
since Safari
Ever
was
since
gone,
Safari left, bro.
she
She
dwindled.
hasn't been the same.
It's
Real
like,
talk.
it's not doing it for me.
It's not doing it, bro.
I miss
Door-
old
the
Nicki.
house-
She's 7 days
Yeah, I
weak
miss the monster
right now.
Nicki,
I
bro.
miss
Weak.
Monster Nicki. I miss
Yeah.
the persona.
She was snapping on Big Bank though. Don't give it twisted. She
Big
had the best
Bank
verse
was
on
really
Big Bank.
good.
Your ass like
She-
a stank her. That shit.
That ruined it.
No,
for me.
she
That part.
didn't, bro.
Your ass like a stank hoe.
That was the worst line
in the video,
of the
she
whole
showed that-
All
song.
right, y'all just hating. Nikki,
So that pissed
I
me
love
off
you.
even
All right,
more.
we
We
out
love
here.
I love you too. I just
Sean,
expect
you
a
had the
lot
best
from you.
verse, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I said
Not
I'm
to
gonna
EA
do
I heard
me.
Sean hit too.
Not to EA Sports. But all right.
Muted not Colin
I was about to say,
Kaepernick.
they
And
took out
on that
Colin.
note-
Hey, shout out Colin Kaepernick, bro.
You still taking the majorest L of ever, but it was for all of us,
he
and
took
I
an L so
appreciate
much he
you.
had to take a knee.
Why you say he took an L?
For all of us.
$2 million.
But I appreciate. We'll do that on another
But
episode.
now, shout out to Cap.
Isaiah Thomas took the biggest L.
Shout out to again. Shout out to Dead End Hip Hop people for messing with us and letting us talk.
Follow
all
our
this
social
bullshit
medias,
here.
please.
Follow us at NDR513.
Go on Facebook at
India,
No
India.
Disrespect. Talk to us. Send us messages, topics you'd like for us to talk about. We're always open. Anything else you guys?
Though
wanna
you want
shout
to promote anything?
Man, I'm
I'm
happy to
just
be
doing
here,
me.
man.
What's our Twitter handles? Run them through.
I don't really do Twitter no more.
Come
But
on.
I'm
My
on
bad.
Instagram.
Instagram.
I'm on Instagram. DOE.VINCI. DoVinci.
Come on.
Chill.
Twitter. I just realized what
Instagram.
that meant now.
IG
Thanks, man.
chill the ill CHILLDEEILL.
All
You
right.
can find me at Swaf, 4 F's.
It is. It's
That's how you spell it?
That,
Yeah.
I mean,
On
I
every
tell you,
plat-
that name pisses me off.
On every
bro.
platform. Every F stands for
Always
something
cool.
different.
I can't. I can't.
And don't forget the F.
All right, and that's us for this week. There's no disrespect,
What's your Twitter handle? I mean, your Instagram.
bruh. They already know me. It's like
Wow.
W
But
E
you don't even know you.
WESISI11. You know, holla at me if you want to.
Don't follow my personal page. Follow Kirk Cooks. Thank you. KERR Cooks.
Shane with the shit. She tired of the DMs. Somebody hit her up. Somebody, what
She
you
said,
cooking?
don't slide in my DMs.
I'm over it.
Serious
Shit.
inquiries only.
Please. Thank you. Trying to run a
Alright.
business. Have a good afternoon.
Support
Slide 'em
black
in.
business. All right, holla.
Bye.
Holla.